Water City Intervention Council meeting order Tuesday, February 18th, 2020. Would you please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance to the flag? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Bev, can we call the roll call?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Motion made and second is made to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Chamber of Commerce, or the council meeting today. It's in the Chamber. And Bev from the Sentinel and Dennis from the Claremont. And especially you people that are watching at home or wherever you may be. First thing on the agenda today is a hearing. And it has to do with the maximum property tax dollars. It's February 4th meeting, 2020 meeting. The council established this as a date and time to hear public comment regarding the maximum property tax dollars for certain levels for the purpose of the fiscal year 2020 and fiscal year 2021 budget. The required notice has been published and posted. Recommendations are that the mayor opens a hearing and asks for written or oral objections or comments to the resolution. At this time, I'm going to open the meeting if there's any comments or oral written objections. I'll ask once again if there's any written or oral objections to this hearing. Hearing none, I'm going to declare it closed. After hearing all the comments, the mayor announces that this time receiving comments is closed. The administration recommends council approval. It requires a 2/3 vote of the council as the total dollars of proposed levies are more than 102% of the current year.
Motion to adopt resolution 20-3, approving maximum tax dollars from certain levies for the proposed fiscal year 2020 to 2021 budget.
Second.
Motion made and second to adopt resolution 2000-3, or 20-3, excuse me, approving the maximum tax dollars from certain levies for the purpose proposed fiscal year 2020 and 2021 budget. We have a roll call on that, Jeff?
Bauman. Goodchild.
Yes.
Knapp.
Yes.
Witt.
Yes.
Motion carried.
So is that why we had Williams Company in the audience so they could document this? So we did it right? You have to check off in their audit program. We did it before we did the budget.
Did we do it right, Jen? We're all right? Murphy's been keeping me out of jail. That's the reason I want to be Andy and Bev, I gotta clean up my image. All right, moving on. General discussion.
I like all these water.
The way we handle our general discussion is, anybody's got any complaints or nice comments about the city, we ask them to step up to the podium and state their name and address. In our open discussion, the city council can't make any decisions at that time, but they're always certainly willing to listen to anything that you may have to say. Has anybody got any comments to an open discussion today? Hearing or seeing none, we'll move on. Citizens, thumbs up award.
Not today.
Mike? Rex? Steve?
Thumbs up to having our fire chief back. He looks rested and relaxed and ready. Just ready to roll again. So nothing happened while you were gone. Yeah.
I do have a thumbs up award that I want to share with everybody today. I work with this individual every day, and he's doing a tremendous job through all the budget season and through all the projects that we've had going on and the projects that we got coming up. Excuse me. This individual is working, I don't know, too hard or too long, or is doing a tremendous job for us. And I'd like to have you share with me and give Jason Basir a round of applause for the job he's doing for the city.
Thanks, talking about me.
I was gonna say, Jason better suck up because this ain't happening all the time. It's a rare occurrence when you get claps at the council meeting.
Okay, going to the consent items. All items listed under the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion on those items unless a request is made prior to the time the council votes on the motion. Today we have 8 of them. Approval of the February 4th, 2020 regular meeting minutes. Number 2 is a list of the bills for the period ending 2/14/20. Number 3 is a monthly financial statement for January 2020. Number 4 is a renewal of the beer permit, Kimes, Lamar's Country Store. Number 5 is urban utilization tax exemption request. 6 is a request to close the street. 7 is the police department staffing, and 8 is the civil service commission. At this time, does anyone of the council members want to pull anything before we vote?
No, I don't want to pull anything, Dick, but I do want to address D7.
D7.
I am in favor of D7, but the council needs to be aware that there is no guarantee that there will be shared cost of this employee down the road. Right now, we hope to get shared with the schools, but the city could be taking on the rest of that. I'm in favor of it. I think it's great, and I think the schools thinks it's great.
I think through the Public Safety Committee,
Yep.
we were reassured that they are very much for it.
In favor of it. Okay.
And very much will back it again when it comes time.
And like I say, I'm in favor of it. We just need to be aware that that is potentially a cost coming up.
Good point, Clark, good point. And I will say, from everything I've heard, the program is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
It's cool.
absolutely.
I've heard nothing but compliments about it, so.
I want you to tell me what holiday it is on D6. Can you tell me that?
D6.
I look forward to that also, Rex.
Yeah.
Dick's pronunciation.
Can anybody say what that is, besides the library closing?
Don't ask me.
No, come on, you gotta give it a shot, you're the mayor.
I can't pronounce 150 that I got last year.
What is it?
Dia de los Niños?
Okay, thank you.
It is.
That's pretty good.
There you go.
That sounded good anyway.
Thanks, Mike, we'll accept that. Okay.
Motion to approve consent items 1 through 8.
Second.
A motion to approve the items 1 through 8. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to
Comprehensive annual report.
the action items. First one is the 2019 comprehensive annual financial report. The council has received a copy of the fiscal year 2019 comprehensive annual financial report. A representative of Williams and Company will be at the meeting to discuss the report, and I see Chad is here and the other gal. So at this time, Chad, would you share with us the report?
Sure. I'd just like to introduce Rachel. She was the one that in charge of the audit. So Rachel Nelson, she has been with us for 2-3 years now, and she's in charge of it, got everything prepared for it, wrote the report. So then I basically did the easy part of signing the opinion. So
Thank you, Rachel.
Maybe you should sit down and let her talk.
You can say it. You're good.
it's all right. I figured we could just anyways, just kind of go through the report here. Starting on page 3 is our auditor's opinion. And one thing to note in the auditor's responsibility paragraph that we mentioned that we did not audit the hospital, that the hospital was audited by other auditors, so we're making reference and not taking responsibility for the hospital, but just referencing the other auditors' reports. Page 4, the opinion paragraph that we lay out that in our opinion, and on the report of other auditors, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects in the respective financial position of the governmental activities and all the fund level statements. So that essentially is the clean, unmodified opinion that you guys are always looking for, and you received again this year was the clean opinion. Moving on to page 6 is the management discussion and analysis. This report's 100 pages long. If you don't have time to look at the full 100 pages, the management discussion and analysis is a good spot to take a look at, to kind of, there's a lot of good comparison information from last year and why things changed. Then on page 15 is the start of the government-wide financial statements. So page 15 is the statement of that position, and then 16, 17 is the income statement part. This is a full accrual financial statements, kind of like how a business is run. You can't make any management decisions from these statements, but it's a 10,000 foot level. If you want to look at, compare Lamar's to other cities about the same size, this will show what you owe or what you own and what you owe, and so you can kind of make comparisons that way. Page 18 is the start of the fund level statements. That this is the major fund statement, that every fund is listed somewhere in this report, but the smaller funds are listed in the back, and they're just grouped into the other governmental fund column right here. One thing that we always make note of is the number of days of expenditures in the unassigned general fund balance. And this year, that there are 104 days of reserves in the unassigned fund balance, and that's up from 84 days from last year. So you're making good, we tend to say anywhere from 90 to 120 days that we kind of look at, when your next property tax is going to be received by the city, and so you guys are right there for that.
For 104.
104 days, yep. Then, page 20, 21 is just the income statement for the major funds. Then 23 and 24 is the utilities major fund statement. So you got the water and sewer fund as the major funds, and the other two are non-major funds shown in the back. Next, you just got cash flow statement. Starting on page 32 is the notes to the financial statements. So there's a lot of good detail in here that basically, if you want to dig deeper into some of the numbers that are on the face of the financial statements, you can look at the notes. And then just start on page 73 is the budget to actual comparison. And then there's just some other, page 77, 78, that's just some other required supplementary information that basically supports the information that's in the notes. Then starting on page 84, this is where the non-major fund statements begin. And so they said that this is where all the smaller funds are at. So then one last thing I just want to point out on page 96 is at the bottom is the debt limit, that you guys are using 31% of your debt limit, so you have available 69%. And so that's just the general obligation debt goes into that calculation. And so, because that's, you know, the full faith and credit of the city secures that debt. And so you guys are sitting very well on your debt limit there.
31%, does that include West Sewer Plant? That does?
Yeah, yep.
In essence, we're not even paying that load, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So we'd be at 10 to 15%.
Okay, I just want to know if that was included.
Yeah, that is included in there.
Okay.
It had to be included because we got a low interest rate by selling it as PO coverage.
Right.
If we needed to.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't know if that was in that.
So
Sure.
he's doing the math right, but yeah, it's kind of a misnomer.
Okay,
Yep.
good enough, good enough.
So otherwise, I think that's about all that I had then. I don't know if there's any questions.
Any questions for Chad?
Yeah, next year the goal's gonna be to get it down to 100 pages versus 102.
I don't know that, they seem pretty
Figure
much.
how to squeeze that down, so, because we don't need to look like we're that big.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if the census coming out, don't you want that to be?
Well,
I want to talk about that census later.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll bring it up later, but no, I can't ask any more questions. I already ran off my neighbor from coming anymore to this meeting, so I don't want to run off another guy. You know, Graham won't even come anymore. Pretty soon, it won't be Tad, it'll be you.
Did that answer your question?
Have to live with it.
Is that-
Did that answer your
Oh,
question?
no, yeah, I'm fine.
Any other questions for Chad?
Motion accepting the City of Lamar's comprehensive annual report for the year ended June
Second.
30th.
Second, oops, sorry.
Motion made, motion second, accepting Lamar's comprehensive financial report for the year end June 30th, 2019. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, moving on. Thanks a lot, Chad, and appreciate it. You were good to work with this year. You really were. Going on to E2, funding recommendation by the CVB Advisory Board. At its February 4, 2020 meeting, the council acknowledged receipt of the Convention Visitor Bureau Advisory Board's recommendation for fiscal 21 project funding and tabled action to this meeting to allow citizen input. Letter and list are attached. Recommendations are that city administration recommends the council fund the CVB's recommendations for this year, fiscal year 21. 3 years ago, a new policy was approved for all future years, fiscal year 19 and beyond, to retain all hotel motel funds for city CVB operation and maintenance budgets with uses as follows. They are as follows. 5, convention venues, visitor information center, all tourism efforts, including bus tours, advertising and promoting events, and advertising and promoting Lamar's. Financial impact is in accordance with the annual appropriations. Any questions? Hearing, seeing none, I entertain a motion.
What number are we putting down there?
127,000.
It's a total? Is that what we're doing?
11,737.
What?
Usually just the 11,737.
Would you come up with that?
$3 grand.
Just the 3, not the other ones? See, I thought the other ones were part of the 11
I did
too, but
too.
I didn't think we did the whole 127 because that's not the number either. So I thought it was 11.
Is it, or, what's that, 42,240? What's that number?
That's other,
I think that includes the 35 every year. plus the other.
yeah, that's the other services that Jessica's office does.
I thought we were talking about the whole.
42,240 includes the 11 and the 35,000 for those forever funded projects.
I think that's the number then, right?
So what was the number, Jessica?
42?
42.
42,000?
$42,240.
Okay.
This one right here.
39 and 11 is 47.
Any questions on that?
Wait, Doug, what'd you say,
Hang
Doug?
on.
Jacob, what'd you guys say?
Well, 11 and 35 is 47, some 46, 47.
What, just add all those numbers, add these top numbers together. That's your number.
Last year it's just 3 grants. So we have
35 plus the total awarded.
Right.
Yeah, the total awarded, not the requested.
That comes to the 42.
That comes to the 42,240, right?
Yes.
Anybody know where we're at?
And 85 just for operations, that's what gets you to 127.
Yeah.
So I think we do it for the 42.
42,240, yeah.
Yeah, I think you do it for all those, because even the forever ones really have to be identified that we did it for them. Even though we might not have done that last year, that's why I was asking. So, motion approving Commission Business Bureau Advisory Board recommendations for fiscal year 21 projects in the amount of $42,240.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Motion made and second, approving the Convention and Business Bureau Advisory Board's recommendations, or as amended, for fiscal year 21 project funding in the amount of $42,240. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to Surface Transportation Block Grant Program, STBG application. Jason, I'm gonna turn this over to you. on
You don't want to
this.
read all that?
Huh?
You don't want to read all that?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, what I put on in front of you for today was a revised application, just so you see what, it's changed from what was in the packet. Dollar amount wise, project stayed the same dollar amount, changed. And the reason I did that is I'm still kind of learning the process and understanding what this group